Welcome, ladies and gents, to another episode of the Wiseman Talks podcast. This is the post reaction to the last pay per view for the GOAT John Cena on his farewell tour. We're literally one more event away, and then we will get the conclusion to John Cena's 20th long wrestling career. Shout out to the GOAT. With me today, we got King Sol. There we go. Yep.
Matt, no, I'm about to say Matt ain't on.
Waiting for him to join.
He must have got off work, man.
Let me see.
He must have got off work, man.
Nah, he been off, but yeah, I'm just trying to get him off. You said we're gonna do that for about like a half hour or something, cause then he gotta get ready. Let me see what he's doing. 1 second, ladies and gents.
Work in, man. Nobody's on.
One second, everyone. Let me see. There we go. All right. Good. Let's add that Maddie. Ladies and gents, we got Maddie Oos.
Yeah.
Going on,
What's
Oos?
happening?
What's up?
Oh, damn, I just saw Jey Uso crash the fuck out.
Wait. I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't?
Are you serious?
Oh, shit.
So I was gonna wait till after
Oh
podcast, so
man.
that way it didn't interfere with everything. So I did see one little clip, but yeah, I didn't watch the. I missed because I was watching, it. Welcome to Dairy. I said I missed the episode, so I've been trying to catch up on that. So yes,
Isn't
I
a
was
football
going
game?
after
Isn't
we
a
did
football
this.
game on?
Yeah, but I don't really care.
Patriots, Giants.
Okay,
We
I ain't
don't
worried
care for
about
no
that.
goddamn Giants.
I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about me. I
Yeah,
did.
so I said I was waiting because I didn't want to get anything spoiled. Oh, and I said let me
Okay.
flip my phone over. I said I didn't want to get anything spoiled
I'm
about
surprised you didn't watch it.
people, about the masked person. Like I said, we're going to talk about all Survivor Series stuff for right now until this, and then after that, then we can talk about all the what went on Raw.
Mm.
But yeah, so we're just coming off of men's war games, women's war games. We got new champions crown. We got champions retaining titles. Thoughts, anyone? So how you feel about the pay per view in
I,
general?
I ain't like it. Because the men's, you just going to end it like that, but they try to make a tease with Cody and Roman 3.
Yeah.
Then I said, whoever attacked Punk, I think Punk know who it is. Because it's people saying it's Dean, but he's still under contract.
But the person
And
was jacked though. I said that they was kind of like
that's that
husky
guy.
built.
I'm saying what you saying is
No way
Austin.
it's Dean. It's not. It's no way.
No,
I'd
see,
be
yeah,
shocked.
he's still under contract for another 2 years, and but then it's
But
funny. I
but
don't.
then but he does the same thing over there though.
Yeah, but whoever did that, that stunt was different. Cause then he did his little stunt. I seen a clip. He did his stomp against I forgot whatever the guy's name was that used to be with Adam Cole. Like he did it, but his was more. I don't know. That stump was different. Then like I seen somewhere where they was saying what's the Jungle Boy? I don't know if y'all follow
I
a
heard that. I heard that.
from AEW. They was like, oh yeah, he's still coming for revenge against Punk from when Punk was in AEW. But to them, they was like Chris Jericho, and I'm like,
Nah,
nah,
Jericho
that
ain't that
don't look
big.
that don't look like Chris
Nah,
Jericho. But then I was like, they said Karrion Cross, and I thought it would be funny,
nah.
but like I said, from the person I've seen, like it only looks like it could be one person. But it would be crazy if they changed it up. Like if it was like, all right, we're just gonna throw in, say if it was Austin Theory, like we'll that'll be Austin Theory there, but they can still pivot and make it somebody else. So it's like, oh yeah, that could be
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory, but then when we actually reveal who the person is, it could be somebody way different. And then like, all right, you can throw in Austin Theory later on, and like have him come out because they said it was supposed to be Theory and Jacob Fatu. That's supposed to be in the War Games match until Fatu had to take some time off to deal with an
Yeah,
injury. Cause I was like, because Theory was supposed to come out at Saturday Night Main Event, I think, when Jay and Punk was fighting for the title. He was supposed to make his before that even whole Seth getting injured thing. Like he was still supposed to make his return at Main Event. Uh, saying that Seth defeating and hurt. I think he would have did Punk and Rollins.
but
But is Logan Paul part of the division? Because like I said before that, he was coming out with Paul Heyman and them, and then like he was getting introduced as like a member of the division. But I can't see Logan being a part of it. But then again, like
Listen, I think Paul Heyman and Logan Paul are a great duo. That's just me.
because like does he need the vision though? Because like I mean, say Logan Paul can hold his own.
he
Like he can
can.
carry his
Yeah.
own character without the help. It's not like oh yeah, like I feel like a guy like Bronson Reed, like having Paul Heyman on your side, it does help you more than it would like if he was like, all right, if he was just on like he was just a solo heel. I feel like you being part of the division that benefits you. Like Braun Breaker, like I said, Braun can. I feel like he can hold his own, but having Paul Heyman with him does elevate his character just a little bit towards like, all right, now we're starting to get comparisons to early Brock Lesnar when we
But
see Braun Break because oh yeah, this guy he's young up and coming superstar and like all right, like he's on his way to being the next future champion. So like I said, it may or may not work with Paul Heyman and Logan Paul, but yeah, and I didn't this year that Survivor Series might have been one of the worst pay per views I've seen this year, and I said that's taking freaking
Bro, you fell asleep.
WrestlePalooza
you
seemed a
fell
little bit more interesting than this
you fell asleep. That's how
because
bad it
it's
was.
like, bro,
it
one
was boring, dog.
I didn't like the fact that they didn't have the Shark Tank keys, but then somebody made a good point. They was like, imagine having the Shark Tank and you're trying to fit Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker started off, but just trying to have those guys all fit in one cage, it's like, and then like I said, I don't know, but last year's was. See, I feel like low key Brock Lesnar being in the match kind of is like, all right, we don't really need a shark cage because is he really going to be entered? Like, because usually when you have the little cage, they have the cameras in there and somebody does something entertaining or says something entertaining. I don't know if Brock Lesnar would have been like, all right, we don't need to keep the camera on him this whole time or have the camera in a position where we can get a lot of footage of them in the Shark Tank. Like last year, you had all right, the whole incident with Punk and Roman. It was like, all right, like he told Sammy, no, 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 no. Like that was all right. And like I said, it was Solo being in the cage that like last year, like the whole jawing back and forth in the comments. Like
Right.
I guess I feel like Brock Lesnar being involved in the match kind of like all right. And then like I said, then with being at the baseball field, it's like all right. I don't know if they didn't have enough room because they was coming from the dugout entrances,
Maybe that
I
was
believe.
it. That's actually a good point. Maybe that was it.
But like, yeah, I don't want. I see. I don't know how I feel about this. I wouldn't want this to be the norm. It's like, all right, yeah, we'll just have superstars come down from the entrances, like if it's the Royal Rumble versus just being in the little shark tank, the shark cage, and then coming out. But someone made a good point. Um, for the women's match, every time there's weapons involved, it was the superstars bringing them out versus the men's. It was like, all right, they were coming down and then
Mhm.
picking up weapons because he made I think it was it I think it was I think it was Sam Roberts or one of the uh people from like Busted Open podcast. They was like saying like, yeah, like if you're in a war games match like that is a time consuming thing because you got to think about it. You got what 3 minutes I think it is until the next superstar comes out, and say if you're in a position where you're outnumbered, all right, and you're taking the
Yeah.
time to come down here, or if you're like a guy like Jey Uso, say if
Right.
you're making your entrance down, and like, all right, now you're doing your little yeet thing, and then you get weapons, and it's like, all right, bro, you have 3 minutes to help out your teammate, and you're over here taking your time to get down here, and then you're picking up the weapons. I said, versus you just already have it in your hand when you coming down, boom. So now you could just help out your partners. So I did kind of think that, like, all right, made a little more sense, but overall, and I really wasn't expecting both War Games matches to be all that because, like I said, they all seem just thrown together at the last second, and like especially with the men's, like the injuries aside, it's like all right, now we got to pivot and do this because I said if, like I said, if Jacob Fatu wasn't hurt, we would have had Jacob in there, so we probably wouldn't need Cody Rhodes in there,
Oh,
and then if Seth Rollins wasn't hurt, we definitely wouldn't need Logan Paul.
no, I think Logan still being. I don't think Brock will be there.
You think so? Because the whole thing with Logan is trying to get the world heavyweight title. So it's like you throw him in there because here's this whole trying to get the. Well, see now, I don't know. See, maybe they might have him do a match at main event, but like I said, now it's kind of confusing because, all right, because like I said, Logan Paul came out when after Punk did his thing, like making a little, oh yeah, who's going to be the next challenger? But then
Right.
if that was the case, shouldn't he have gotten the pin on CM Punk? Because then now with Braun Breaker pinning
Yeah.
CM Punk, Paul Heyman was like saying, "Oh yeah, like the next future world heavyweight champion, Braun Breaker." So now what does that leave Logan Paul?
Right.
Because you didn't, like I said, if that's just for you to be in a War Games match, I said, and now we got what the hell is we doing? Like, who just purposely just wants to get involved in a War Games match? Because we haven't
Ye-
seen what Logan Paul since was it SummerSlam?
Yeah, we had that. Yeah, it's been a minute.
So
Do
it's
you
like, yeah,
realize
you're
that this year's war game, the face team? I mean, it take out who was it? Take out Cody Rhodes. It's practically
Mm-hmm.
the same team as last
It is.
year. With
It is.
Sami,
yeah.
like they, like you said, like Brock Lesnar, and then, like I mean, like you mentioned Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar. What was his reasoning being in this match? What was his
His connect.
reasoning of wanting to go back to the man
His
who they
connection.
wrote, who they wrote? It's, I mean, they wrote him to screw him again. Paul Heyman. I
Mm.
mean, twice in his career he has been screwed by him. I'm gonna trust this guy a third time, and I'm just gonna join this War Games match for. Give me one good reason. Didn't they say like the whole Roman Brock story ended at SummerSlam? Didn't they kind of
Yeah,
ruin
because
that by
that was supposed to
yeah
be the end thing. Because then remember, like, because that's what kind of led to the whole with that after Cody lost the first time to Roman, and it was like, all right, like, yeah, you pick an opponent uh that hasn't faced me, or else no, that doesn't not gonna worry about the title, and that's when he came out. So like I said, yeah, it don't make sense because that was supposed to end at SummerSlam because that's why they had that last man standing match, and
yep
then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, all right, now we're taking a trip down memory lane. That's it. It's not Roman's farewell tour. It's John Cena. So it's like, what? business does Brock Lesnar have? Like I said, if that was the whole favorite thing, yeah. Oh yeah, Paul, we need to talk. And it's like, okay, you did all that just to be in a War Games match. I said, if you wanted to fight Roman Reigns, because apparently that seemed like his whole motive, but he had that one little stare down with mini stare down with CM Punk, and it's like, okay, all right. So are you going for the belt? Or are you trying to get a world title? But they didn't make it. They make that seem pretty clear. It made it seem like it was like, all right, we're getting another Roman and Brock feud. And I'm like, all right, at this point,
Nah, I don't need
it it,
that.
it only would have made somewhat sense, like I said, if Seth wasn't hurt. And it's like, all right, now we're gonna put Roman through all these obstacles. If it was leading up to WrestleMania, but Seth is hurt, so it's like now it's just, what are y'all doing with all this stuff?
So
Because I
when
said if the
Steph
whole
come, go
hmm,
ahead. I'll let you finish.
no, I was just saying if the whole plan was we're gonna have Brock in here regardless, it's like you had to think on that. Like, yeah, I don't know if you really needed him in here, Cody Rhodes, and Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre. What
Well, we
was you
know why
saying?
Drew went there, so we all know why he's in there because of Cody. Um, but if Steph do come back, you think he going at the Braun and them,
Oh
I
yeah, for
would I
sure.
would think, right? But then at
or
some
he
point
might
you
go
got to
to,
you got to bring
or
back
he
the
might,
Seth and Roman feud because they were supposed to
or
be at Mania.
or he gonna
Mm.
go to another direction.
I
See,
think he's going after Braun.
yeah, because that's like when Bronson Reed, when he hit Seth with those tsunamis, like before the whole thing, and then like when Braun and Bronson was in that little feud, he made his return, took out Bronson. So it was like, all right, we had that. So it's like I feel like he's definitely gonna target Braun Breaker, whether it's after he, because they say he's supposed to be, well, they say they estimated said he wasn't supposed to be back till like around April, and that's going to
Right.
be probably close to WrestleMania or probably like right after WrestleMania.
So you think whoever the champ bottom, he gonna interfere at Mania? Then?
Yeah, but then like I said, we still have the whole Seth and Roman feud thing that's on the table because it's like, all right, because they better not doing like we already kind of just did like a whole that Michael Myers franchise. We're just gonna brush past. We're just gonna change this timeline. We're just gonna take out all the little detailed thing that we just stick with one little thing. Because now their whole thing is, yeah, Seth and Roman still don't like each other. Well, Roman's still pissed at Seth for breaking up the Shield, but yet we're gonna forget that the Shield did have a reunion before Dean
Right.
Ambrose left, and like now it's like okay,
3 times they reunited.
so it's like
And I
now
was
we're
saying
just,
maybe what if, because say what if they do it one more time, just them two, then just let it go. Like yeah,
but it's funny how we're just gonna brush out three reunions and just say, oh yeah,
but
no, 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 we're still
That
going
never
off the
happened,
fact,
guys. That never happened.
yeah,
These two, they haven't interacted in a ring since the Shield breakup in 2014.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because like I said, now they can't be like, oh yeah, we have a common goal, like oh yeah, we both don't like Paul Heyman and the
right.
Vision, but yeah, like no, 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 and I said Roman, if you, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. It's like all right, it's just like it's like teaming up with Cody. It's like all right, man, he took the belt from you, and you say yeah, y'all never gonna team again, but then like y'all cut a promo before, and you told him like you're in my way in life, and you're still partnering up with the guy. But I don't know.
I think they're gonna team up again. Cause like he's always telling Usos, he's like, I want to see y'all till Christmas. Look what happened.
Yeah, broke his promise. He said, "Yeah, well, I'll see y'all after Thanksgiving, might you?"
Hey, it is what it is.
And then, like I said, and then with the women's war game, like I don't get why. See, I don't think the women should have, the baby faces should have won. I think you kind of could have carried it if Becky Lynch would have picked up the win, because like it was like for for her to be like, oh yeah, giving all these backhanded compliments to all my teammates, and then like it's like I say, if she picks up the win, she can kind of use that as like momentum for her and be like, oh yeah, like
Right.
yeah, it's like to try to get her title back from Maxine. Like you could have like yeah, like as much as she says, oh yeah, Sports Illustrated says that she's the best woman wrestler, whatever that whole thing is, she could have used that. Like, all right, yeah, I won the War Games, the women's War Game match, and all this and that. Yeah, like ESPN shows it. Like she could have used something like that. But I said you did all that just for you to lose, and then to lose to AJ Lee. I'm like, I don't think you needed a War Games match if y'all still gonna continue this rivalry with them too.
Right.
Like y'all didn't need War Games to do that. That's why part of me. I mean, it's good that AJ picked up a win in her War Games match. Like, yeah, but
She made her tap twice though, so yeah.
and then these damn referees have been pissing me off the whole night because that after the EO did her little jump off the cage with the trash can,
Hmm.
they didn't count a pinfall because she was
No.
literally laying on top of Lash Legend. I'm like, we just gonna brush past the fact that she didn't do that, so we're not gonna count the pin for that. And then the
Right.
whole bullshit with Dominic Mysterio and John Cena. Because like since when, after many times in WWE history, where referees get distracted and someone sneaks attacks them, and then oh okay, they go for a pinfall. The referees don't never stop and say, yeah, you know what? Um, I think you're faking it or all this and that stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna count the pin for you. Why now all of a sudden they want to say, oh yeah, Dom, man, no. You was faking an injury. You know how many times Ric Flair's in fake injuries? Edge, trying to think who else probably faked injury. Um,
A lot of people that do it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like now all of a sudden it's a problem. You can't count the three for Dom, but
I think the reason like that, I think why people just like that match because Liv just came back. That's it.
yeah, so glad to see Liv come back. I see, and that's why I was saying that match should have been the main event. Because one, it was John Cena. Like I said, it was John Cena's last WWE pay per view. So I feel like you had two reasons. One, because it was his last pay per view that he should have been in the main event. I mean, that match should have been the main event. And then it was Dom's hometown. So it was like, all right, like y'all can give him the nod if y'all say he's supposed to be the next face of the company. Like you're
Mhm.
building him in that direction towards it, or one of the faces. All right, start him off, give him his moment. And then, like I said, if you had all the Judgment Day come out to basically like get their little one off on Cena, like okay, like Raquel and Roxanne, they get to say that yeah they impacted, they had a part in John Cena's like farewell tour match. It's like all right, not a lot, no other WWE or no other women on the roster can say oh yeah they beat up John Cena. Uh, Logan, I'm
That,
not Logan Paul, Finn Balor,
that, that was a
JD.
rehearsal.
Yeah, y'all jumped Cena, so it's like all right, like they everybody had a part in the match. So it's like I said if they would have did that as a main event, it probably would have it really would have saved the show honestly, because it's like all right, I did the women's one first. Could have did Stephanie and Nikki next, then did the men's, then you could have did Dominic versus Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, and it was just all just the names. That's why the men's was the main event. It's like, oh, you got all these so-called all-star talented, but was that match better than Cena versus Dom? No. And like I said, and I literally thought Dom was hurt because I said that was, but then I look back and say, all right, yeah, that's the same spot that Penta, but it was like I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment to Penta. It's like, all right, yeah, like we did your spot where you got hurt, we add that in John Cena's match. So it's like I don't know if Penta should be like, oh yeah, thanks for the tribute to me, but I don't know why you're doing a tribute to my injury. I
Hmm.
said you could do the Penta driver, and then like we probably would have got a crazy reaction. And I wanted the 619, man. I thought we was gonna see a Cena 619.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was saying the last two moves I wanted to see Cena do. The 619, I'm still waiting for that pedigree. And because he's done all the. Well, did he do a Sweet Chin Music? Well, no, it wasn't really technically Sweet Chin Music that AJ did. It was one of the. Somebody from TNA, their finishing move. But, like I said, we got all these moves from John Cena. I said, you couldn't do a pedigree or you couldn't add a pedigree in there. Yeah, and then wasn't really a fan of the whole Stephanie and Nikki Bella match. It was just good to see Nikki Bella and her
Quick
outfit
question
I
together.
for
was
the
I was pissed that she lost.
Yeah,
But
who that? Oh,
Nick,
Nikki.
Nikki.
Nikki Bell.
She should have did the twin switch.
But I mean, at this point, we can tell the
Yeah, I
difference
was
between
gonna
her
say you can tell who
and
Brie
Brie
is and Nikki is.
because it's like, yeah, we know who Nikki is now, and then she wears the number two, so it's like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna think what she got. The Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton liposuction or whatever, weight loss all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden, like within like 2 seconds.
Somebody got shot.
You know what? If what they did at the end of that show, teasing Roman and Cody 3
Mm,
for Mania, and I saw a couple people, not a couple people, a few people, all just all over the internet and shit saying, "Oh, um, this we don't need this shit. We've already seen it twice."
mm.
Um, blah blah blah. I think one of the reasons why I think it would actually be a fantastic idea. I think it would be a perfect setup for a Cody heel turn.
Yeah.
I think both of them should walk into that match both as faces.
Mm.
It'll be hard to if they've done it before, it'll be hard to set up. Okay, if they had to make the crowd cheer the most for somebody who's good, let's be real, they're probably going to cheer Roman more than Cody.
Yeah, that could
But I
definitely.
would if I was Booker, as CM Punk loves to put it, the Booker. If I was the Booker,
Mm.
I would have Roman and Cody fight in the main event, and I would have Roman win, and I would have him. He needs to have a title run as this character as like the Tribal Chief character with the face run. He needs to
Yeah.
have at least one. So I think next year, because Roman is still in his prime, I think you want to give him the title one more time.
Mm.
Do it next year, and then I say he beats Cody. He doesn't turn heel on Raw the next 2 days. He on the 2 days later on Raw. He will. I want him. I'm booking him to turn heel that night while Roman is celebrating, and I want him to crash out and go absolutely mayhem on Roman Reigns, like to the point where he goes like Homelander crazy. And
Cause
I'd
then,
want that to set up a beautiful heel Cody run, and I think that's how I would do it.
and it would be perfect too. Cause then, this would be the second year in a row that Cody would walk into WrestleMania and Las Vegas as a champion, and then he's losing. I mean, he's walking out without a belt. So
Yep.
it's like, all right, he could be like, oh yeah, no, 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 I'm tired of this. Like, I dealt with this last year, and then boom, that would be a perfect setup for Cody to just like, yeah, you know what, f this. But then I know it's just been one too many years too late. But
Yeah.
say if that does play out like that, and he attacks Cody that night, and then the following Monday we going Raw, and trying to see would it be? Mm, yeah, yeah. Well,
What we talking about?
I
If
suggest I
Roman.
suggested to Tay that Roman and Cody 3 at Vegas Mania this next in a few months, that Roman should win the title and Cody should turn heel that night after the match while Roman's celebrating.
like I said, that would be perfect because That will be the second straight WrestleMania in Vegas that Cody loses the belt after walking into the Mania as a champion. And
Right.
like I said, he could take out Roman, and then it's like, oh yeah, and fans like, oh yeah, Cody, we want your like, and he could kind of pull like a John Cena stunt where it's like, all right, yeah, like the crowd, we want you to explain yourself, but he could be avoiding everybody all night, and then like I said, I know it's kind of no, we'll be the next pay per view after Money in the Bank. Uh, no, yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea. Like I said, they did all that. Like say, said Cody, like he's not explaining himself to nobody, and then he comes out like before the show ends, like the main event, he comes out, cuts his little promo, and mid talk, like it happened before, he's mid speech, and all you hear is "If you smell what the
Mm-hmm.
Rock is cooking," and then we
I
get
gotta do it
Cody
soon.
versus the Rock at Money in the Bank, and
Mm.
then we can finally settle this whole Roman and Rock thing. Because like I said, I don't really. I feel like waiting if we're gonna do that match, you want to kind of do it
Before
soon,
he
but at
leaves.
a big pay per view, and I feel like SummerSlam would probably be the second best option. Like I said, if they did do it at a WrestleMania, but you got to make sure that plans out right. But like I said, I don't think we should wait to freaking WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia for them to do all that crap. Because like I said, we should have did it this year, but we didn't. We should have did it last year, but we
Yeah,
didn't.
but you know how that went. So yeah,
So I'm like, yeah, if it does play out like that, I feel like the best bet to do it is SummerSlam. Because like I said, that would be in Minneapolis. It's a two nighter, so you could kind of pivot that way. Yeah, like I said, that's not a bad idea because I don't know what they're doing with the whole Cody and Randy Orton thing. Because I still want to see that, but if Cody's gonna turn heel, like it's got to be after he loses the belt. It can't just be like Cody just like, oh yeah, you know what? After this, like it's got to be a valid reason for him to
right.
crash out. And like I said, him losing twice in a row at WrestleMania definitely will be a valid crash out. And unless, like I said, if one of the Money in the Bank winners like happens to be like Cena, not Cena, man, Orton or McIntyre or something like that, to where it's like you got to give a valid reason to crash out. It can't be just like, oh yeah, LA Knight wins the briefcase and then he cashes in on Cody
Right.
Rhodes, and it's like, all right, it's like, all right, bro, it's fair game, but it's got to be something worth him turning the heel on, because we kind of already see it. And I was like, he even teased it too at the War Games when the Zebros helped each other up, and Cody just jumped up like he just jumped up and then got in Roman's face. I was like, oh, all right, Cody Lander. But like I said, we ain't getting nothing out of that whole reaction between the two.
That's why I said, what is the production doing? Because like they not. You could have made something out of that. The last what 5 minutes left, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Somebody would have came out at the end.
I'm like, if we're doing all that, and I thought maybe like Jay might super kick Cody. I'm like, because it just like for them to end it just like that is like, what the hell? I'm like, that's how you're gonna stop it? You just Roman and Cody just have their little interaction. Oh yeah, I'm never teaming with you again. And then Cody's just like, I know, I got that. It's like to just end the show off on there. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
They should have been like Roman hit one of them and been like, "Yeah, see you down the line."
Like,
Make the title belt symbol like, "Yeah." Then you make them think, "All right, which one you looking for?"
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's all the matches on.
yeah, because there's only four. Like I said, four matches in the pay per view was it's kind of
It was
boring.
it was corny.
So shit got a little more excitement out of watching the Crown Jewel. It's like, nah, it's just I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, the John Cena, the Saturday main event. Hopefully, that's you can't end a pay per view. You can't end a year off with a with
Nah,
Survivor Series being like that. I said this Saturday night main event has got to like top that. Because we already know we're gonna get Cena versus whoever. Like I said, we
that's why you
probably
didn't.
we
I
need
forgot you didn't watch it yet. So yeah,
nah. We need a whole bunch of. I'm actually gonna watch it after we get off now. And probably gonna cut this short because we're at the like 30-minute mark, and I know Oos, you gotta head out and get ready for work. Likewise, myself. But I said I just
so
want to get
no,
all
my
our.
question for you, Don. I was like, they was showing. I was watching the news. They was doing a school closure. You don't work at a school, do you?
Nah,
Okay, all right. I was making sure.
shit, I wish. I wish
Because
they
they
just say
doing
yeah
school
we ain't.
closure.
But I don't think it's really gonna do nothing though. It just look like rain and maybe like a little bit of snow. As long as it just don't turn into ice, I
Yeah,
don't
because they're
think it's.
already doing school closures down bottom on the news. So
Uh, yeah, but like I said, all right, ladies and gents, King Salmedius, we're gonna end this here so I can catch up on Monday Night Raw. So then, like I said, either well, for the weeks out, we can.
Oh, yeah, there's one particular thing I want to talk to you about. It has to do with Jey Uso. So yeah, you'll see
Mm.
it.
Oh, you gonna say it or you gonna wait till
No, no,
after?
yeah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, you're gonna watch it first. Yeah,
Uh,
I ain't telling you no.
he's already talking.
yeah, and they didn't. No, see, I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna just watch it. I said I don't even want to know any details on the whole mask, the
Oh, you
black
be
hoodie,
saying?
the ninja mouth outfit.
I mean, I've been watching comments on YouTube. Like, yeah, they got they got a couple people might fit that description, but I think we all know who it is, though.
Because I was gonna ask, did they reveal it yet? But then, like I said, I don't want any. Because that's gonna be just gonna give me a reason to watch it. I said even if they don't, I still want to tune in and then just find out on my own. So yeah, just I'm gonna actually do that right now. So, ladies and gents, we gonna end this video right here. But y'all let me know what y'all think too. If y'all like Survivor Series, let me know. If y'all didn't, let me know. And if you don't know, now you know. Tell your friends, tell your foes, and let your neighbors
Let him
know that
know.
this is the Wise
I
Man
don't
Talk
know.
podcast. King Sal, Medius, recognize me.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.